Oliver Kite was a master fly fisherman, naturalist, writer, broadcaster, professional soldier. He was also, in all the important senses of the word, a gentleman. His untimely death in June 1968, when he was only 47 and in the prime of his life, came as a profound shock to the millions who looked forward to his weekly television programs about his fishing experiences and his beloved countryside. His program, Kite's Country, knew no boundaries. It embraced seashores, lonely moors, bustling cities, even an oil refinery. It stretched wherever he happened to roam. But there was always one important characteristic, an almost hypnotic fascination for the wildlife and the plants, a fascination that was highlighted by his remarkable powers of observation. Ollie, as he was affectionately known, was a naturalist from his youth, and as a lover of the countryside, he knew the birds and animals by name and by habit. When one walked or fished with him, he made the whole countryside come alive. Not even the shyest of creatures would escape his pleasure or his attention. His keen blue eyes, that had once looked for Japs in the Burma jungle, could equally seek out the trout that lay hiding amongst the weed bars. As Major Kite, he retired from the army in 1965 after a quarter of a century as a regular officer. But a serious illness, some 8 years earlier, had caused him to change his sword for the pen. For the army, he rewrote the infantry manuals. He also became a prolific and popular writer in leading fishing and country magazines. He was an authority on dry fly and nymph fishing, and was acknowledged as such by notable fishermen throughout the world. Watch now as he takes one of his last trout from this delightful stretch of chalk stream, the top of the Test, his Rolls-Royce River, as he called it. It was here that Ollie died, while fishing, only a few days later. Ollie enjoyed not only his fishing, but also his surroundings, the wildlife, the plants and the scenery. He took a protective, almost possessive interest in the creatures he studied, and incredibly, they always seemed to appear wherever he went. He made more than 200 appearances on television, and his gentle voice and deep knowledge of the countryside endeared him to millions of viewers in the south of England. It was the rest of the country's loss that his programs were not shown nationally. One viewer wrote to him that he regretted that in a few weeks he would be leaving the area and would not be able to see many more of Ollie's programs. The writer was awaiting release from Parkhurst Prison. Some excerpts from his programs have survived, and although back in the 60s television was still in black and white, Ollie's inspired descriptions added their own special kind of lustre. To those who knew Oliver Kite, it is hoped that this film will bring back some pleasant memories. and to those who did not, may it surprise and delight them.